So, shadows of wisdom. It's such a cryptic tagline. It's funny because so much of wisdom is in the shadows. When we were growing up as kids, we were told not to talk to strangers. Till we realized that that was the only way forward in life was to talk to strangers and make new friends. We were told not to break the rules till we found out that the only way of being a leader is to make your own rules. And if you grew up in the times that I grew up in, we were not told or encouraged to engage much with the opposite gender till we found out that those skills were very important in life too. Anyways, growing up as a professional classical musician, I often faced the dichotomy of having to juggle between being the artist and being the career person. So you're always told that if you work on your art or work on your craft, your career is going to take care of itself. But it took me years to find out that that's not how it works. You have to work separately at both. And especially when you're an artist, you're often forced to be two people at the same time because you are creating this art which you're passionate about and which you really believe in. But then you're also thinking of ways to put it out there because what is art if it does not reach the right people, right? So, this is a thing that I've been working on in my life. This is a message that I am trying to bring to everybody because in our country, especially the way culture thrives, is often you get the impression that to become an artist, you need to belong to a certain kind of family. It needs to travel down generations. Now, while there is an advantage to having it handed down to you like that, but there are also ways for anybody out there to make a very, very viable career in music and the arts. Um, One of the things that you need to start believing in as of today is that you need your own fuel to fly. Because if you use the fuel from somebody else's source, then one day when that fuel source is cut out, you're going to come crashing down. So even if you fly at a lower altitude, create your own fuel source so that when all else is done, you'll still be left flying. And take it from me, one day you're going to get an opportunity of soaring higher than the others if you keep flying. It's the same policy as they have when the pilots fly an aircraft and maybe they're kind of there's an engine malfunction. You have to keep it flying. You have to keep it flying, and you will arrive at your destination. So this is one of the things. The other thing is you're often told as an artist, you're almost given the impression, especially as a classical musician, that technology is perhaps at cross purposes with traditional art. It's actually quite the opposite. I have had instance of interacting with people like Jordan Rudess, who's the front man of the Dream Theater, and he is one of those people who is using apps like the Moises app and many other AI apps or generative learning apps or machine intelligence apps, which are helping artists to, for instance, separate the tracks of a song. So it actually enhances creativity. In my uh, formative years, I would see music producers spend hours just trying to write a small section of the song. And now you have generative AI do that for you so you can focus on the more important things like creating the melody. So instead of instantly shunning technology, instead of instantly saying that it is here to take over the new, take over the world, what you should do is embrace it and see how you can make it work for you. The other issue that I've faced a lot, and this is not only in India, I've faced this a lot in the Western world, in places like Australia or in places like Great Britain or in the United States. For the traditional listener, there is this perception that the sitar, which is my instrument, is an acoustic instrument, so they want to hear the natural sound. Okay, that is a myth. Because if you want to hear the natural sound of the sitar, you have to be in a room with just 5 people in it. If you're going to play in an auditorium with 1,000 people in it, then instead of saying that, oh, in the olden days, they just used to use the simplest of mics, and yet that's not wasn't the ideal scenario. Often the stroke making or they adapted themselves to it, and they did an amazing job. They did reach the last people, and which is amazing. But now things are different. It's a little bit like saying that, oh, people would walk from town to town. People would, carry water and, maybe, but now we have pipelines to do that. So why not use it? Why not use it to enhance your art and make the finest nuances reach the last person in the house, right? Always get a sound technician, a good sound engineer who's going to help kind of boost and bolster your performance, kind of EQ in the manner that you get the right frequencies cut through for your audience. Because remember, at the end of the day, your audience is going to go back with the whole impression. They're not going to separate your aesthetics from the production of the show. They're not going to separate, your sense of presentation from what you actually played. It's a whole. So these are things which I encourage. We have this foundation that we run, me and my wife, and it's called the Purbayan Artists and Music Foundation. And we encourage youngsters from every walk of life, from different parts of the country, to come to Mumbai and pursue classical music as a career, or any form of music for that matter. And we like to tell them that no matter who you are, no matter what background you come from, we are there for you. And not only are we there for you, if you have a voice which is potent enough, the whole world is there for you. You just have to figure out what your story is. And the main thing is to believe the fact that you should not listen to those who are telling you that this music is for a select few. That's the only way you will take this art form and take it to a place which is bigger than where it is right now. I would like to draw attention also on the fact that, there have been great maestros like Pandit Ravi Shankarji, like Ustad Vilayat Khan Sahab, like Ustad Rais Khan Sahab, like Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, who's my guru also, Ustad Zakir Hussain, who have taken the message of this music and spread it all over the world. Not only have they done that, they have also created a very, very effective dialogue with great award-winning musicians from the West, brought them to India. So they have done all this. Now, where do we go from here on? Where do we go at a time when Coldplay is coming to this country to perform, when Ariana Grande is coming? These are great times for our music. These are amazing times for anything that's Indian. If we don't capitalize on these times, and if we can't get the word out, the fault is only ours. I also want to bring your attention to the matter of following rules and breaking them. That's how I started my speech. So, in the shadows of wisdom lies the ability to make your own rules. In the recent past, I was asked to play the sitar in this very popular series called Bandish Bandits in the season 2 of this, right? And now if you pay attention to the name, you'll see it's called Bandish. Bandish, which literally translates to tying somebody down or keeping somebody in a kind of a structured world. And then bandits who are like gangsters, rule breakers, right? So I think this is the quintessential debate for any artist anywhere in the world, is that you're given a set of rules to play by, and then you push the boundaries of those rules till you're allowed somewhere to breach the boundary. Why are you allowed to do this? Because that's the beauty of art. Art allows you to expand the vision of the beholder in a manner where they don't understand that their vision is expanding, because their vision is expanding with you. For instance, let's talk about this red dot, okay? I'm standing within this red dot. If I went to the edge of the dot, I would still be standing within the dot. But if I was talking convincingly or engagingly enough with you guys, you wouldn't be looking at my foot if I put a foot out. So that's what you need to do. Your conversation or the dialogue that you create, in the metaphor of the art, of course, has to be engaging enough for the listener or the beholder to not pay attention to the boundary. They'll themselves tell you, come on, go for it, break the boundaries. So that's what we need to follow as artists. To those of you who are trying to become artists, is to be fearless about the things that you believe in. And I would like to conclude this speech, because I want to keep a little time to play something for you guys, by saying that you're all artists out there. All doctors are artists. All lawyers are artists. All engineers are artists. All architects are artists. You know why? Because the world we live in today, with all its big buildings and with artificial intelligence and technology and computers, none of this would exist if somebody didn't dream about it. If somebody didn't conjure it up in their mind as a vision and then dare to believe that they could make it true. So you're all artists there. There's nothing different between you and me. We can all dream of something and make it come true. The only key to all of this is to not only watch for the light, but also watch for the shadows, because much of the wisdom is in there. And you have to believe that you can walk as efficiently or as brilliantly in the shadows as you can in the light. Thank you. Thank you very much.